Welcome to Critical Thinking with Miller's Minions. Today, I, Brock Tatum, will be talking about the 7-iron. My first experience with the 7-iron started around June this year. In fact, it was my first time experiencing golf as a whole. I didn't know what to expect, but I needed something to keep me busy during the summer, so I decided to give it a try with Cameron Cormier when he asked to go golfing. Sure enough, I loved it. I knew that it would not be my last time at the course, but I didn't know what was to come as a result. It was my first time golfing, so I didn't really know too much. Which club to use, how the score works, or even the rules. Now, I'm not someone who doesn't play a lot of sports or isn't athletic, so I didn't have trouble making solid contact with the ball, thanks to 11 years of baseball. But there's something about golf that is so humbling. I think it's the fact to do with the limited area to hit the ball, the small club face, and the even smaller sweet spot. But that all changed when I was told to hit my 7-iron from 140 yards out of the green. So naturally, I listened as a beginner would, and proceeded to stick my ball on the green from about 140 yards away, which rarely ever happens to me now, even with the year's experience. But that wasn't what had me hooked. It was the feeling in my hands and lower body felt when I lined up with the ball all the way to the follow-through after contact. It was like I had just shaken hands with an angel, but it was more than a shake. It was a hug. But that feeling of inner warmth, like everything else, was gone in an instant as I proceeded to 4-putt. But that moment right there is why I played golf with just a 7-iron. Now that I have an entire summer of golf under my belt, going pretty much every day, I can fully talk and grasp the game like a tour pro. But when it comes to applying my knowledge, I would simply fail the test of the putting green, the super tight fairways, and the sand traps. Sometimes during a round, you aren't playing your greatest and nothing seems to be going straight. That's when you pull out the all-terrain 7-iron. From teeing off all the way to the fringe of the green, you have no problems getting the ball in the hole. The initial tee shot is your biggest shot, carrying about 175 yards, leading you the same shot towards the green. You're going to hit the ball long and land over the green. All you need to do is choke down on the club and swing away. From personal experience, when you walk onto the tee box with a 7-iron, you will receive some looks of all kinds. Disgust, confusion, smiles, and even looks of hate. However, no other club is capable of these versatile actions due to its perfect loft and club length. For putting, you're still able to use a 7-iron. Just close the club face by putting your hands way ahead of your body and swing away, or even chip it by putting your hands behind you. Just like that, you can score bogey or par on every hole. On top of it being the most versatile club, it comes in a variety of styles for your own play style. Well, so do all the other irons. But still, no type is superior quite like the 7-iron. Cavity backs are your typical starting club, offering you forgiveness you've been given all your life from loved ones and friends. You can almost guarantee that when you hit the ball with a cavity back, the ball will fly straight. With ultimate forgiveness comes a price. The distance drops off. The bladed clubs offer max distance with a much smaller face and a much smaller sweet spot, giving you minimal forgiveness. Then, you have the muscle backs, providing strong distance with optimal forgiveness. That is the heavens themselves reaching down and pulling you up to join them. The feeling is so indescribable. It's like when you just turned 10 and you're being thrown a huge birthday party with everyone singing happy birthday to you. Or the feeling of picking up a brand new puppy. Or Christmas morning and finding out Santa came. Imagine all those emotions in your hands. As I gain more experience, I start getting way too confident and sometimes even cocky when approaching my shots. I'll throw everything I've taught myself out the window and attempt to hit my 3-wood off of a slanted hill where my knees are lower than the ball. 3-wood is the hardest club to hit, 99 times out of 100. It will have to be in the most perfect spot for anyone to even attempt a 3-wood. The crazy thing is, the distance is almost the exact same as my 7-iron, but I will still tell myself it's a good idea to hit my 3-wood. The 3-wood, in a way, is like that one relative you hardly ever see, and you only see them because of a family reunion on Thanksgiving. Ultimately, the relative ruins the night in some way, shape, or form. When you think about it, every club in your bag connects to a relative. The driver is like your father, with it being the longest hitting club and the captain of all clubs. The woods, as I just stated. The high irons are like your younger sister, always willing to do something for you, but never can follow through because she's just a young child. The low irons are like older brothers, trying to go as far and hard as possible, but end up failing. The wedges are like your mother, soft, generous, and get you where you need to be in a short radius. Then the putter. The putter is every single family member's personality put into one. The first putts are left too short and way right of the hole. Then the next minute they're sailing off the green because you tapped it way too hard. It's the most unpredictable of the bunch. That's how I look at golf, not as a game to go smack a ball around trying to find a hole, but as a second family. A family that is so evenly balanced in every way, so perfectly unperfect. I'm no golf pro, nor ever will I be, but I will, however, play for the rest of my adult life. It isn't just the clubs I find connected to family, but it's the entire sport. There is no other sport in the world where my grandfather, father, my sister, and I could all play together at the same time. It brings friends and families together with a simple goal of putting the ball in the hole. That is why I love the 7-iron, and that is why I love golf, because of its connectedness to family. I give the 7-iron 5 stars.